Hello, dear foodie friends, and welcome to Kitchen Chat. This is your host, Margaret McSweeney, and I'm so glad you're joining me today at the Pierre, New York, a Taj Hotel. The Pierre has deep culinary roots. In fact, Auguste Escoffier was the opening chef and designed the original kitchen in 1930. Executive Chef Culinary Director Michael Mignano continues the legacy and hallmarks of luxury and hospitality here at the Pierre. He's even going to share with us the exquisite amenities that he prepared for the guests at the Met Gala. Also, he's going to share some stories about Escoffier, Julia Child, and insights in terms of how the Pierre continues to define luxury and hospitality. So thank you for joining me, and let's have a kitchen chat with Chef Michael Mignano.
Initially, I did not want to be a chef. I wanted to be a physician. While I was in college, I was cooking just to, make some money for gas for my car. And then I just loved to cook, being first generation Sicilian, always around food, always around family. And it's a true emphasis on scratch, and it's in your blood, so to speak, right? So you do things very naturally, like walking and speaking, you don't really think so much. So I sort of just fell into the career. I started off working for David Bouley when I was 19 on Duane Street, which was a fantastic restaurant, a great experience. Bill Yassis was a pastry chef. He actually went on to be for the White House. And then after that, I just went Oriole, opened Balthazar, L'Espinasse. Then I started here in 1998 as executive pastry chef. And I've left and come back 3 times. So I must love this place, don't I?
So what is it about the Pierre, New York, that you absolutely love?
You know, it's not just the tangible building itself, but it's the people, and it's the brand.
Yes.
And I think this is timeless New York City luxury. So being location, where it is, the history, the first chef being Escoffier, and it's very big shoes to fill.
Oh, well, you are filling them well, and I'm so excited as we continue this journey here at the Pierre, New York. We are going to actually go into history. There's this beautiful display they have about Escoffier, and how did he form your own approach? Did he have any impact or influence?
Well, the thing is, Escoffier is the unofficial father of cuisine, especially French cooking.
Yes.
And when I started cooking, you work in a traditional brigade system, stagiaire, and you start from nothing, from just literally peeling potatoes and apples.
Yes.
Pay attention, and you get yelled at enough, you listen, and then people always say, you're such a good chef, and I said, well, I burned a lot of cookies. Right? So it takes a lot, so people don't really understand what it takes to get where it is, and there's a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, patience, perseverance, and you have to love this. So I would think that Escoffier, being the father of the chefs in the world, it's set the benchmark and stage for the whole culinary society.
Absolutely, and also the French cuisine here in New York.
It's paramount.
He was the OG, I guess, of French cuisine here in New York. So I know there was just the tradition, and that's so important, the tradition, but also it's important to have that progressive approach, keeping it modern, keeping French cuisine relevant. How do you do that?
So I'm in the business of sophisticated fun.
I love that, sophisticated fun.
Okay, so everything we do is, we have traditional methods and recipes, but we need to have fun with it.
Yes.
Food is playful, so it's a must. What it does, it keeps the staff interested, it keeps the clients coming, and it's a very always unique perspective. So I always say I'm in the business of that.
Yes, I love that. And speaking of sophisticated fun, of course, the Met Gala, I understand you created quite the amenities. Can you share with us about that?
Met Gala always has a theme every year. So Karl Lagerfeld was about him, and he had to work for the houses of Fendi and Chanel. So he would do his sketches, but he would rip them up. He would never keep anything. So whatever is found, it was dug in the garbage. So the whole thing, the show being called A Line of Fashion, so I'm thinking, how can I incorporate this meaning into what it is? So clothesline, hanging his drawings up to dry, illuminated, I sort of did that where the edible prints of his drawings were edible chocolate. You can eat as little plaquettes. But one thing that, little eccentric as Karl Lagerfeld was, the height and element of luxury to him was buttered toast. So part of the amenity, I had soft European butter with little small square 1 inch piece of toast with a buttered knife. So you can butter yourself. So every little nuance of the dish actually had a meaning for the Met Gala itself and for Karl Lagerfeld.
Oh, I love that. And speaking of butter, we love French butter here on Kitchen Chat. I'm curious, what dishes do you really like to feature European French butter, and why?
So the thing is, French butter is inherently a higher fat content.
Okay.
Usually about 83 to 86% within that range, whereas American butter would be 77 to 79%. So that really helps with that higher fat content and less moisture of milk solids would be for croissants and viennoiserie. So have your laminating doughs, puff pastry, Danish. It's really important to have that nice feuilletage of layering with the butter, and that's what really makes your croissant very buttery, light, and flaky. So as opposed to being dense and sort of soggy.
Yes.
So European butter is imperative during this process.
Love that. And of course, Julia Child loved French butter. Did you ever have a chance to meet her?
I did not, but I would literally watch her reruns.
Yes.
On PBS on a Sunday. And, she literally was the forefront of everything.
Yes.
She set the stage for the Food Network. And it's funny when you look at in the past, whenever something is done sort of out of scope, it's always seemed as odd in history, right? Electricity, automobiles. So being on TV, cooking, it wasn't perceived as entertainment. But she made it fun.
Yes.
She made it engaging. She made it interesting. And it's kind of, her show literally led to this culture we have today. And where chefs are astronauts, I would say, right?
Yes, absolutely they are.
So she had probably the most important role, especially for TV, cinema, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, everything roots from this.
Yes.
So to have a public acceptance of that, it's good to watch food on TV.
Yes.
And not being, looked at as why are we watching cooking. It became, the name and a household name today.
Yes, she set the standard. I love this. Have there been any chefs, outside of Escoffier, of course, who have really influenced you and helped pave your path?
David Bouley.
Yes.
So, funny you should say this. I'm 19, clueless, which is good, right? But ambitious, hardworking, and very traditional French line working at Bouley, Duane Street, which is now closed. It was one of his first location. So he had jumped from, there was a VIP, he jumped from the salad line to the fish line to the meat line, doing dishes for the VIP, then he came to dessert. So he pushed me aside jokingly and he said, give me a passion fruit. He scooped it out, he had the juice, gave me 2 egg whites, he whipped it up, threw sugar, and he made a souffle in a passion fruit vessel. Me, I thought this was like, this guy walks on water. So I said to him, you know everything. And he said, after service, ask me the same question. So then I'm like, okay, I'm in trouble. Right? So here we are, 1 a.m. We're just closing up. I'm wiping my table down, wiping the kitchen down. And I go to him and I said, Chef, you wanted me to ask you what I told you. He's like, yes, tell me it again. So he goes, I said to him, I said, well, you told me that, you said to me, you know everything. He goes, exactly. He goes, never handicap yourself in your business. He goes, when the dishwasher is not there, I can do dishes. My sommelier is not there, I'll sell wines. My host is not there, I'll be a hostess. When you don't come in, I'll be the pastry chef. So basically what he said, he set the stage for me that when we're leaving work and we're all going to Blue Ribbon Bar on a Saturday night till 4 a.m, eating pate and champagne, like big shots, go to the fish market with me in Fulton. So I would go to the fish market with him, 3 a.m. with the team, learn butchering, learn the whole other savory element of everything.
Right.
So this literally laid the groundwork for me today to be culinary director, to literally be able to do a savory dinner for 400, but make a wedding cake at the same time.
Wow.
Which I don't know anybody else in New York City that can do this, or in the States. So, but this is because of his teachings, an ideology of never handicapping yourself in anything. And if you don't know something, learn it.
Yes.
So I always played both sides. See, you'll always see chefs who are great chefs, but they can't make a souffle. Or you have pastry chefs that are good pastry chefs, but they can't sear a steak. So this is something that I always pride myself on. And being pastry background, it really helps with my plating, which is very artistic, my creative process.
Yes.
So these elements together mixed with savory, it just makes me Pierre a great place to showcase this.
Absolutely. Oh, and the grandeur of this. And at the heart of it, pastry truly is about storytelling.
It is.
Yes, like it's the Met Gala that you. What are some other stories you have shared that are close to your heart through your pastries?
See, I in 2017, I published with a very good friend of mine the Pastry Chef's Little Black Book.
Yes.
Okay, so we have volume 1 and 2, but we did it not to sell books. We did it to basically transcribe recipes that we had jotted down in our little black books that we keep in our back pocket as cooks. So they were fading, and recipes were worn and covered in chocolate and eggs, and you just start, when you're writing these things and typing them up, you're realizing you actually have a book. So this is something where I feel that I'm giving my knowledge for the next generation, and this is forever lasting.
Yeah.
I'll be long gone, but my book will still be here, teaching the next generation. And this book is used at the CIA, at the French Culinary. It's it's something that became such an iconic industry thing where we've sold about 70,000 copies. It's great.
That's wonderful.
And it's literally part of me and Michael Zabrowski, who was my co-author in the book, also part of himself too. So this for me is sharing my knowledge and passing it down to the industry.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And it's still available.
It's still available.
We will make sure we have a link, foodie friends, so you too can be encouraged and inspired. So I always like to share with the audience, what are your top 3 tips for home chefs? Because not all of us will be an executive.
No. But the thing, see, people always say, "Oh, you work here. You must eat the fanciest things at home." I don't. Very, very simple. Very, food is very giving, and for chefs, we give, we feed, we nurture. So it's in our nature to be very generous and homey and comforting. So this is very natural. So for me, I always tell people, never be afraid to approach something you don't know. Because what's the worst thing can happen? You just do it again.
Right.
That's all.
Exactly.
So, and a lot of times people have a lot of apprehension to try recipes, especially investing money in ingredients.
Yes.
And not coming the way it should be. So there's always that kind of fear. But there's videos and just practice. It's just practice. Have your guests in your house as your experimental patrons with a honesty clause. Be honest.
The honesty clause.
So I would just say
that.
just the whole approach.
Okay.
Not to be afraid. And again, sophisticated fun. Food is fun.
Yes.
So keep it simple, keep it fun, keep it sophisticated, and you have a perfect recipe.
I love that. And get the Chef's Little Black Book.
The Pastry Chef Little Black
Pastry
Book.
Chef's Little Black
Yes.
Book, and we'll have that link. What do you see as what's next? What's next within this industry, within the food? I mean, what are you seeing?
So I think, the pandemic has humbled everyone, right? And also it has put restaurants and the food industry in positions where you wouldn't be in, which is a good thing sometimes because you would have this fear to make this change prior.
Right.
But when you're forced to make a change due out of necessity to survive, you might realize, well, the other side of the page isn't that bad, so to speak, right? So I would think that, there's big emphasis on to-go dining.
Yes.
Quick, fast casual, but still keeping quality. See, this is one thing that I think if people just keep quality and this respect that people know quality, they want things that are fresh, they want things that are local, they want things that are accessible.
Yes.
Right? But obviously we're in a society where everything is fast, now. That's a necessity, but also it's good to slow down a little bit.
Absolutely.
And not rush and sit, enjoy your family, have a meal.
Yes.
Don't watch TV and eat at the same time. So there's little things like this. And I think that for the industry itself, it literally brought very famous chefs out of their scope to do little grab and go and quick concepts where they might not think of doing this, but by just paying attention to the market and how the market is going. So this is the whole ideology of, a willow tree sways to the left and to the right and never breaks, but an oak does. Right? So you always want to be a willow in business or in life. And the thing is, by paying attention to the market, the trends and everything else, you can actually be very successful. So being out of your comfort zone is a good thing.
Yes.
Just having the courage to do that.
Great wisdom. Be a willow tree in your life and everything.
And you won't snap.
And you won't snap. That's great. I also want to briefly talk about the cuisine in the backdrop of the Taj, because the Pierre, New York is a Taj Hotel, and you have some Indian fusion within the French cuisine.
So having a good basis here with the history of the Taj and the Pierre Hotel, having the Indian restaurant, the Pierre Grill, we're actually doing a sort of a relaunch of this history element of the Pierre Grill and putting these recipes and flavors into our new dishes. Again, having the same concept of sophisticated fun, which is my staple on everything that I do here. And working closely with my executive sous chef, Abhinav Sharma. He's very talented, he has a great palate, and he's from India. So working together with him, we're sort of reinventing what's already here. And I think now, especially with society as a whole, if you look at James Beard, their last couple of years, you've actually had nominees or winners that were Indian.
Yes.
So, and Manhattan is this big melting pot, right? You have all these cultures, and it's such a fantastic place to dine. You can literally, especially in Queens, you can on one block, especially in Jackson Heights, you can literally hit 20 nations. So where can you have this in anywhere else? You can't.
Right.
So because our customers and clients are and modern young people through Instagram, social media, they're willing to try new things.
Yes.
It actually makes this relaunch very relevant for the whole culinary entity of what we're doing now.
Oh, I absolutely love this. And let's talk about hospitality. How do you define hospitality? How do you exhibit hospitality here?
Hospitality, I always say, is in you. It's a gift that we have that we give to our clients and our customers and our guests. And it's something that can be sharpened, it's something that can be groomed, but you have to have that giving sense in you. And one thing that, even though we're in a hotel and people will, pay for rooms and sleep at night, it's a home. Yes. So this is something that every employee, from the top to the bottom, has the same common language of this is our house that we're sharing with you. So as long as you have that mentality of everyone here, it's the best essence of hospitality is sharing your home. So this is something that Pierre does unequivocally very well, and we've done since 1930, and we will continue to do it for another 100 years.
So thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you, very welcome.
Oh, and thank you, dear foodie friends, for continuing to watch Kitchen Chat and sharing these adventures with me. Always remember to take a moment and savor the day. Thank you so much, dear foodie friends, for joining me for this special kitchen chat at the Pierre, New York, a Taj Hotel with Executive Chef, Culinary Director Michael Mignano. Please visit thepierreny.com for more information about the hotel, and please visit me, kitchenchat.info. I thought it would be really special to wrap up this kitchen chat with a clip from the private kitchen tour with Chef Mignano. You can see firsthand the hospitality of the chef and his culinary team.
Santiago is my most senior chef. He's been here since 1982. No, 81, I'm sorry. Okay? So for me, this is a representation of how this place is. So when I say a home, family, this is it. Okay? You have the same continuity of work. His hands literally have fed thousands and thousands of people. So this is okay? And he still smiles after that, which is great.